Hello. I'm going to tell you my story. First, I'm going to take this mask off because there's nobody else here and I don't have to worry about wearing this stupid thing. But it's not stupid because it has Seahawks on it. Happy Blue Friday. Okay. I wear it when I go in stores. I wear something. Um anyway, some of the campgrounds require that you wear a mask, and sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't, and every place is different. So, I'm going to tell you my story, and I want to prop my feet up and get comfy. Okay. Um. Okay. Well, right now, um, at the moment, I live in my name is Tammy, and I live in my RV, and I travel from camp to camp, and I stay a little longer than most of your nomadic RVers, I think, at least the ones that I follow. And then I stay, and then I move to another camp, and that's how I live. And I haven't been doing this yet for a full year, and so I can't really compare a full uh, season yet. Um, the my RV was donated. I did not purchase it, and uh, uh, because of the kindness of somebody, I'm able to do this. Um, I had made the decision. I was living in subsidized housing, and I did not like that, and it was not an environment I wanted to live the rest of my life in, and I knew it. And I thought I just have to get out of here, and I didn't feel safe. There was somebody harassing me, and but then there were some other very nice people. But even if the person who was harassing me wasn't there, I think it was meant to be because I still don't think it was not a stimulating environment for me. So I needed to get out. So I had made the decision to get out, but when I was still stuck there and I really didn't know what I was going to do, when I hadn't really come up with a solution yet, I started watching escape videos on YouTube. Um, and it kind of started out with watching people that would go on long treks and trail hikes. Um, and because I had enjoyed the book Walk in the Woods by Bill Bryson so much, I was watching people who had walked the Appalachian Trail and different trails, and that's just kind of how I got started watching YouTube videos. And then somehow along the way, I started seeing people um, that were nomads, and I started watching them, and then I saw Bob Wells and a few other people, and I started watching them, and even some people that weren't necessarily nomads, but they like did the nature scene on occasion, and I've always and I for a long time, not always, but I've been into the survivalist, so I'd watch some survival videos on what do they call that? Um, I can't think of the word. When I think of the word, I'll let you know. Um, Primitive skills. Anyway, so something along those lines. So I started watching those videos. Anyway, so finally it came to it where I realized, you know what? I'm gonna move out, and I'm gonna I'm going to give up on sticks and bricks living and apartment living, and I'm gonna, if I have to, I can sleep in my car. And I figured out a way to sleep in my car. I was gonna prop up a plastic container, put them in the back of the seats because I have a small economy car, and then I could put a pillow on top of the plastic container and then have a place long enough for my feet, and I actually could sleep in my car. So I had it figured out. And hello, I don't know who's waving at me, but somebody was waving at me. So um, okay, so that was the worst case scenario preparation, but I was willing to do that. It wasn't ideally what I wanted to do. What I was going to start out doing was I got a camp membership, and I have tents, and I started tenting. And my first night out of my apartment after I moved out, um, I slept in my tent. I went to a couple camps and I got really rained out, and it was bad. But while I was still living in my apartment, I had inquired to get a small bank loan, and they said I was approved. And so I was kind of banking on that, counting on that. But but even if that had fallen through, I was still going to do what I was going to do because I had already decided I didn't want to stay there. I didn't feel safe or happy, and I had to get out of there. It was bad, and I don't explaining that to you. It is it. There's no point. It just it had I had to leave. So because somebody wanted me to leave, and I didn't feel it was safe. So um, okay, so I moved out. Okay, so I got rained out when I was camping in my tent, and it was early October. And so I moved. I didn't move. I was staying in a guest room at somebody's house, and trying to figure out what I was going to do. And I thought I'm going to get that teardrop trailer that I've been planning on doing that, getting a teardrop trailer and hooking it to my car and get putting a hitch on my car, and that's what I was going to do. And but I was going to get a very lightweight teardrop trailer. They don't Teardrops can vary, like trailers vary. And I mean, you could get one that could be over 1,000 pounds, and you could also get one that's about 500 or 600 pounds. And then there's also a few what they call bicycle trailers, um, that you could tow with a bicycle, not just a motorcycle, a bicycle. And I'm still checking those out, and I'm thinking maybe one of these days I might get something like that. So, because all I wanted to do was to be protected from the elements. Um, just something to protect from the cold and the ice and the rain. And and a tent isn't really adequate to do that. A tent can be adequate, you know, a lot of the time. Um, and you can even if you're at a campground, you can plug in to an electrical outlet and get one of those outdoor extension cords. It's very important to get the outdoor extension cord and not an indoor extension cord for safety reasons. Um, and then have a heater in your tent. Yeah. So there's an idea. Anyway, eventually I want to buy this really expensive tent called the Crua Combo, and because I don't really like driving my rig long distances. I don't think it's cut out for that, and it hasn't been. Uh, anyway, I just don't want to do that to the rig, and I can't really afford the maintenance. If it puts a lot of wear and tear on it, I just can't afford to deal with all that, and I don't want to ask somebody for help to do that either. So what I want to do is I want to be a long distance tenter, so I can go to something like maybe go to the RTR, which is Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, which is like down in what, Arizona, that they do once a year. Anyway, if I'm going to do something like that or travel elsewhere, like if I did want to travel around the country a little bit, I would feel much more comfortable and I would be much more apt to do so if I was driving in my car. I'll just be frank with you. I don't mind living in my RV. I love my RV. It's my home. I enjoy my RV and I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate the person that gave it to me. But I don't want to drive it all over the country. I don't feel comfortable driving it up in the hills and the funky places. Um, anyway, we'll see how that works out. Anyway, that's a long term goal that I have, is to buy that really expensive tent that is would be probably warm in the winter. Okay, so moving on. So there I was at my staying at somebody's house in their guest room, and I'll try to zip this up. Um, Long story short, the bank told me you have to have had live in your residence for at least 2 years. Well, I had just moved out short a couple months of 2 years. Too late. Oh, they weren't going to tell me that, back then, of course. Oh, no, I'm all approved. But anyway, I was going to move out regardless. So, um, okay, so that didn't work out. So then there I am, staying at somebody's house, trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do. And it's October. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? I don't want to stay here at this person's house. They don't necessarily want me there as a permanent resident either. It's a mutual, temporary situation. So, um, I was going to put a hitch on my car, and little by slow, whatever I could afford, I put the hitch on, and then get a. Actually, I found a teardrop for $2,000, and it was a homemade teardrop. It was wood teardrop, but it had like a coating on it, and then they put like a little bit of insulation in it. We've been talking through emails. Anyway, so that didn't happen, so I had to tell them can't do it. So that was all over. And then I was still planning. I was still the wheels were turning. I'm going to do something. And I was also thinking about buying the really expensive tent, either that the one I was talking about, or maybe like the spring bar tent or something. I was gonna do something. Or maybe sleep in my car. And because I already had the camp membership at that time, so which means electrical hookup, sewer if I wanted it, water, and also free showers and toilet. So I had, as far as I was concerned, I had all the amenities I needed, and Wi-Fi. Um, yeah, if you have to sit right at the building in order to get it, because they're all closed now, of course. So, okay. So it took a couple months, and I was just kind of sitting on my hands trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And one of the first things I did immediately upon finding out that I wasn't going to get that loan for the teardrop was I bought a nice tent. It was a $150 tent. It was not the really expensive Four Season kind, but it's a decent tent. Unfortunately, the tent is still good, but um, the in the wind I had it up, and the pole broke. Got a little windy, and the pole broke. Oh well. Anyway, life goes on. So finally, fast forward, the person found out somebody found out about my situation, decided I'm going to I'm going to buy you an RV, and they did. And so now I own it, and it's in my name, and I drive it, and I live in it, and it has all my stuff in it. So I'm happy about that. I'm very grateful. Um, okay, so that's the story of how I got the RV. But I don't want to repeat myself. But yeah, I I have a goal of buying the expensive winter tent, and also, well, another way of winter tenting is to buy one of those canvas tents where you can put a wood stove in it. But I don't think they allow that in the campgrounds. I don't. So that's not an option for me. I have to do it something different. So that's my story of why I'm a nomad and how I got here. And I really want to buy that tent. I can't wait to get that tent. Oh wow, it's gonna be awesome. But I don't know what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna be able, how I'm gonna figure out making it. I wish the RTRs were in the summertime. If they were in the summertime, that would be perfect for me. But I suppose it's not perfect for them, because if it's in Arizona, I can understand why they don't have the RTRs in the middle of the summer. Because, yeah, I have some cousins that live in Arizona. Yikes, and it is hot. I've never been to Arizona, but I can read the numbers. So I don't know. I don't know what I will do at RTR time. Well, I'm hoping I'll figure out something. Um, but buying one of those spendy winter tents, that's a lot of money, and I didn't have it right now. I'd have to buy it on a credit card, and I have to pay off my credit card again in order to buy it on the credit card. So we'll see. Um, thanks for listening, and I've been wanting to tell you that for a long time. And so, any other details or gossip or stories or topic, I'll I'll put on another video, and have this one just be about why I'm a nomad. Well, have a good day. I think this is the longest video I've ever done. So, um, hopefully I'll see you on the trail, or see you in the camp, or see you at an RTR, or I'll see you in another YouTube video. Bye.